Tell him the Lannisters aren't the only ones who pay their debts.
This is Pedro Pascal, an actor who's been busier than ever in the past few years thanks to fan-favorite Game of Thrones character, the vengeful Prince Oberyn Martell, DEA agent Javier Peña in Narcos, and he continues to play bounty hunter Din Djarin in the Disney series The Mandalorian.
Yeah? Good.
Pedro's big break certainly didn't happen overnight. After studying acting in Orange County, then at the Tisch School of the Arts at NYU, Pedro dealt with the same uphill climb as any struggling actor. For nearly 20 years, he did mostly TV work, and when you're working your way up on the small screen, you might start out as a guest star. This means you're probably a suspect on Law & Order, a college student turned vampire in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, or maybe a worried father on Nurse Jackie. But eventually Pedro got to that next tier, the recurring character. Not part of the main cast just yet, but still important enough to show up for a few episodes and have a sizable effect on the plot. His first recurring role was Nathan Landry, a sleazy district attorney for 6 episodes on The Good Wife.
Isn't it true?
What's your goal here, Mr. Landry?
Mrs. Florrick.
To do your boss's bidding?
Then, of course, came the ultimate recurring character, Prince Oberyn Martell in the 4th season of Game of Thrones. Initially, Pedro was mentoring a young actor and helping him read for Prince Oberyn, but he noticed that the actor was too young for the part, so he put himself on tape. With his confident swagger and his tendency to hate the same characters that fans hated, he was an easy character to get behind. And although he only appeared in 7 episodes, he absolutely stole every single scene he was in.
Have they told you who I am?
Then after recurring character, there's no place to go but series regular. Pedro played DEA agent Javier Peña, hot on the trail of cartel kingpin Pablo Escobar over 3 seasons of Narcos.
Don't let it rattle you, man. That's what they want. You probably got a price on your head, but no one's gonna take the contract.
And some regular film work finally came his way. Prior to Game of Thrones, the biggest film Pedro was a part of was The Adjustment Bureau, and he was limited to playing a barely visible maitre d' finding a table for Matt Damon. Pedro actually reunited with Damon 5 years later, fighting alongside him in the action fantasy film The Great Wall. And he continued putting on some heavy charm in Kingsman: The Golden Circle.
Looks like we're hooking up with a chick at a rock concert. My favorite kind of mission.
He was easy to hate with a more subtle performance as a double-crossing defense agent in The Equalizer 2, and his character in the sci-fi western Prospect, an intimidating, opportunistic treasure hunter, gave him plenty of juicy material to work with.
You are lucky. I am not immune to intrigue, but be careful you don't overplay this technique.
And hey, this wouldn't be the last space western he would work on. The Mandalorian, which has major elements of classic westerns, stars Pedro as the Eastwood-esque bounty hunter, complete with a shady past, questionable motives, and quick-draw reflexes. Speaking of shady and questionable, he also plays villain Maxwell Lord in Wonder Woman 1984. But it doesn't matter what the motives are for Pedro Pascal's characters, whether they're good or bad or that murky territory in between. After working for so many years and honing his craft, he knows how to captivate an audience. It's probably safe to say that after becoming a crucial part in several major franchises, that we haven't seen the last of him by far.
I can bring you in warm,